Dakle, u ovom novovremenom prostoru konflikta koji se prelama od Urala do Balkana, političari često istupaju sa određenim stavovima koji prije svega zaslužuju izuzetnu provjeru, ono što zovemo fact-checking. S druge strane imamo medije koji i jesu i nisu raspoloženi da pristupe prije svega kada su pitaju političari iz vlasti. Koliko i na koji način ohrabriti novinare da fact-checking postane sastavni dio njihove profesije, bez obzira u kojoj mediju rade, a pogotovo kada su javni emiteri u pitanju.
Thank you for having me. Your question is fantastic. There is no much worthier thing than fact-checking in a field of journalism. You as reporter, you as a journalist, you have obligation to make a fact check, because your product after will be false, will be bogus, will be false information, and false information have that kind of the impact that you announce me in your announcement. And with that kind of false information, the politicians use it, and they creating a politics, and that kind of the politics have an impact on the population, a general population. I just want to stress one thing: how do people doing all those things? That kind of information. How can we product information? How can we disseminate information? And how can we be users of the information and the consequence of that? Now we have a war in Ukraine. This is full-scale war. But we also have a full-scale war in a field of information. It is a gigantic war, titanic war, much more harsh than that war on the earth and air. Because we are facing now with the one problem, it's called Russian active measures. This is one method, one methodic level developed in a 20th century, developed by the Cheka. Russian secret police, which have a task to preserve communist regime. Active measures, until these days, very nowadays, they are including deception, sabotage, false information, misinformation, penetration in every part of society which is targeted, especially with the information system. Other part, I'm talking about active measures abroad, in foreign countries, but active measures we have also in Russia. And active measures is in Russia, it's something like that. For example, Putin make a speech like a few days ago. He has a big rally in Moscow, and he used two new terms which is almost obsolete in a world of journalism. First is a chistka. Chistka means cleansing. And last time chistka was, I think in 1945, was cleansing of the Jewish doctor, and in Moscow. And second term, it's amazing for me. This is second term is the national traitor. National traitor is a fantastic term because this is directly borrowed from the Hitler's Mein Kampf, der Nationalverräter. So you have an instrument, something like this, and you have to rally all your population against it, and you have to push my goal. Ukrainians are Nazis, they are drug dealers, we are fight against Nazis. But in the same time, we're using catchy phrases like national traitor to rally people around us, and they have to fulfill our wishes and our goals. Problem with the journalism, but you don't have to, you must have a check on it. You have to check it, for example, that term, this term, from where he came from. If you find that this is a Mein Kampf term, this is a success because you can just discover it. And for example, I received a few days ago one very small cartoon, Tom and Jerry cartoon. This is another part of involvement in a foreign lands, active measures of foreign lands. One small cartoon is about Tom and Jerry. It's a very funny cartoon. It's they chasing each other, blah blah blah. And what is the point? Point is that the tomcat, he's beating the mouse, and the mouse is hopeless and helpless. But the mouse has kind of defender, and this defender is very well known. This bulldog, this one guy, bulldog bulldog is restrained. Bulldog is toothless, and on the bulldog is written United States. And tomcat enjoying the torturing a mouse, and he gave me the belts, little belts. On every belt is written, on one belt is written EU, on other belt, the second one is the NATO. So the mouse tried to clinging for help. He asking help. And this bulldog, EU calling for help, bulldog, which is USA, is totally toothless. He can't go to provide help to small, poor Ukraine. This is a fantastic thing for the subconscious level of thinking. Well, this is not, this is the way how can you develop rumors. Rumors is different than gossip. Gossip is always direction with me. For example, I met this guy with another guy 2 days ago. I think he is gay. This is a rumor. This is a gossip. But rumor have a direction and only goes to change your attitude, related with every issues in your life, political, social, medical. This is stories about COVID. This is a story about Ukraine. Story about almost every aspect of our lives. And on a subconscious level, on the level of psychological analytics, you can read it something like this. Anyone who is so small, like a mouse, like a Jerry, if he wants to stand up against the bully, like which is Tom, representing by the Russia, he can do it. He can make it. He must remain calm. He must remain meek. He must be obliged. This is a problem with that kind of the very successful kind of the active measures. So everyone who can think that he can stand up, he will just get back. I can't win. Why should I do it? I can't win. Even in cartoons telling me all those things. But problem with active measures that basically they are always half measures. They are not full measures. Half measures is in this very specific way because every one of us know the end of the film. What the end of the film result, the end of the film, of course, Tom is beaten, Tom is but many people, they don't care. And I received many links about this cartoon from my friends. They consider this as very funny and cool. They're laughing. When they're laughing at it, you support Putin and Ukraine war. One specific video clip, which is related very successful public appearance, is one lady who is excellent English speaker. He is pro-sanctions to Russia. She is pro-sanction to Russia. She adores sanctions to Russia because when we, as a Russian, get sanctions, we will become much more healthier because after that we will not drink Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, McDonald's, chocolate bars. We will be much more stronger and healthier nation that will be crush you, and you will be sick, and you will be nobody, and you will be dead. And this is appealing for eternal purposes. You have to calm down your people in Russia. This is one old term. We call it brainwashing. That's it. Problem with that kind of this first cartoon relating. I'm sorry that I'm too long. It's about your fact checking, the roots same source about where that kind of the cartoons came from. I dug maybe 1 hour to see all those things, when they're coming from. And I found that one Indian guy who had his own show in India, he made it, he edited it, he put it, but he's very well connected with Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is one of the prominent alt-right radio hosts in America, who is very well connected with the one part of Republican Party who is still now supporting Russia, especially Putin. Putin is kind of idol for them. And you can see when Congress and the Senate is voting, 18 congressmen and women, congresswomen, are vote against the help to Ukraine, and 31 senators. So this is some kind of the good done task. So that's the reason you have a source, you have to check it, you have to know the reason why something, and in our normal life,
even if that some of politicians, I think just short conclusion, when you want to encourage journalists and editors also and management that do fact checking of politicians in their country, is that specific problem?
Of course it is a specific problem. For example, you journalists, you reporters, you are always prime target for government. But this is autocratic, dictatorial government, not for democratic government, because democratic government love the press. 2017, former President Trump called you journalists as an enemy of the people. You are enemy of the people. You will ruin the people of the United States and all the world because you are liars. This is a statement of psychological projection. I'm telling you that you are a liar, but basically I am a liar. This is instrument of projection. In that kind of environment, it's extremely hard to work. The people are exposed to the physical attacks, death threats, late night telephone calling. It's very hard to operate to doing your own job. But at the end of 18th century, at the end of Trump and the rest of the people are alt-right, hard right. But at the end of 18th century, you have one French revolutionary with the name Marat. Marat was the owner of one newspaper, which is called Friend of the People. The title of the newspaper. This was the main media outlet who started campaign of terror. Marat was totally in that position of terror. During his, Marat was killed 1 year after. But every day in Paris, 200 heads, 200 men are decapitated because of the content of this newspaper called Friend of the People. So you have hard right, enemy of the people. You have alt left, enemy of the people. Where we have to be, where the journalists have to be. Journalists have to seek the truth. We know that to seek the truth is impossible, but we have to try to stay in the path, in the seeking of the truth. Position of truth in a level of journalism. It's a peculiar. It's a dangerous. Because we know one thing. I remember when the war in Ethiopia, when Mussolini attacked Ethiopia, and they wanted to make report from Ethiopia, and a lot of them were killed. And one guy wrote, when the war starts, first victim is the truth. This came from Ethiopian war. And another one, it's a very powerful statement from Churchill. During the wartime, the truth is so precious that she have to be guarded by the bodyguard of lies. I have to guard truth with the lies. I will get one example for it, if I can. Problem with that, but Churchill is just let that one city, beautiful medieval city, Coventry, was crushed down by the German bombers because he don't want to discover the German that they know that they're crushed Enigma machine. They just make collateral damage by the city of Coventry, and almost 40,000 people perished in 2 nights.